just. So, trying to find a place to rest. I should always do this first. There we go. So, on a personal level, I'm just riding out the insanity of the past few months and also the past few days. Put together an action plan, and that's what I'm following. Things are ridiculously hard, but that's my life, that's our lives, that's Planet Earth 2021. And where I don't normally like to use technology in the morning, Facebook and all of that, I'm not fond of it unless I'm in a place where I can relax and rest. I've been using it because I need to ride out whatever's going on, and I'm there in bed and I'm not finding it easy, and I just need a distraction. So I'm using technology, Facebook, first thing as I wake up. Essentially, another distraction, and hopefully this will be the final thing that I can get up about my day with again. But I was on Facebook this morning and a friend who I respect in his decision making in terms of the world and stuff, posted something on vaccines, and I thought, well, I didn't really think, I just clicked on it because I trust him. And it was a video from Austria. The video was off-putting. It probably looks like my videos, you know, the thumbnails for my videos, they're all off-putting, but because he posted it, I clicked on it, and apparently it was this gentleman in Austria. And in Austria, look, I've been saying I'm being F with left, right and centre by some secret organisation, and they're messing up my Facebook and my YouTube. So God knows if this is real or not, but essentially the video showed an Austrian man stating the situation in Austria. And in Austria, there's a national lockdown at the moment because of the coronavirus. The way it's happened, is that the lockdown is only for the unvaccinated. So this is very, very serious happening for our history as a species, that if we do not take a chemical that really and truly we don't know the true nature of, because there's conspiracy theorists and then there's everybody else. And it's fair enough to say that a lot of the conspiracies I hear are a load of bollocks. Therefore, I don't really believe in conspiracies, but on a world scale, can you categorically say there are no conspiracies in the world, that there have ever been conspiracies and can categorically say that I trust with my heart, my soul, my body in the system, that it's 100% pure when we're still at war with each other and when there's so much injustice in the world. If you can, then I'm not going to be on your chosen perception, but in an honest view, to say that there are no conspiracies in the world isn't wise from my perspective. And what we're essentially doing is entrusting our whole lives to a world that doesn't have any credibility, because there's still a lot of injustice in the world. There still has been a lot of injustice over recent times, and war still exists. For me, it's not wise to feel safe that the world is there for us, the system is there for us, when in that same tone, even if it's an ignorant mindset whereby we've come from the dark ages and we're still trying to deal with that past, my country still goes to war, my country still sells arms, my country still enables the murdering of fellow brothers and sisters, people that look like me. Maybe their skin colour is different, but people that look like me and you, that's the world. We're willing to kill each other. So given that corporations are all about money, first and foremost, is it wise to trust this world as perfect and a monetary system that's in it for itself as pure good intent by everybody that works there for the betterment of humanity? Is that wise? I'll leave that to you to decide. And then if it isn't, what's going on that we're willing to take away people's freedoms and liberties because they reject the trust in the system? And the system turns around to them and says, if you don't trust us, we're going to take away your freedom. That's the state of play. So it's a very serious happening. But from my perspective, in terms of my mental health and how I've feared antipsychotic medication over the course of my mental health, I've learnt the most practical way to deal with it from my perspective and from my experience. And that is, you take the best option available to you. So what I'm saying is, don't worry about the vaccines. We all have our own lives. We all have our own pressures, and it might come to the point when we have to take a vaccine because the world has just gone mad to that extent. And you know, I might have to spend 5 minutes now doing that well, 5 minutes, it would take a couple of hours at least, to do a very basic research on all the vaccines, to select a vaccine that I believe is the most harmonious to humans, that will do the least amount of damage. So it's really being called upon me as a human being to be there for my brothers and sisters now that times are, well, that shit's hitting the fan. And is to take that angst away from us and to realise that for myself, this isn't a surprise. This is just like another piss take, another step too far by the elite, where their backs may have been up against the wall and they're having to act too fast in terms of being able to implement their strategy on a more how can I put it, I was going to say more harmonious, but more accepting to the human mind. So what we're experiencing is the coronavirus and a very quick implementation of a vaccine, and it's very pressured, and it's not like the way the elite operate. They operate over 50-year periods, 100-year periods, and we don't realize it as the people because it happens so slowly, and we need to live our lives, and we just accept it and accept it and accept it. But obviously something's happening where they're getting serious beyond what they would probably be happy with any other decade. And they're taking drastic action. But as I said, it's just be aware of what's going on. And at least for us here in the UK, I understand it's okay to request a specific vaccine from your GP. I don't know about other countries, but I might have to do that research and put it out there to say, look, from my perspective, you're going to have, if things are getting serious, don't trouble your own lives to an extent that it's too hard for you over a vaccine, because of my life, man. It's hard to know my life and the stress and the struggles I've been through as a human being, and to know that there's no need, there's no way to fight it alone. So basically, just wait as long as you can, hopefully ride this out, and know that there'll be a decision there for you to be able to make, to say, right, well, things are getting hard, things are getting difficult, the world's shutting down, I'm able to go to less places, I'm not able to earn money. At least I know I can go and request X vaccine. I might have a shot at my future, if I take this vaccine, which I'll express why I believe it's better than the others at the time for these reasons. And hopefully if I take this vaccine, I have a better chance of maintaining my physical body, my nervous system, my mind, because it's all connected. If the worst comes to the worst. So that's why I'm relaxed about the vaccines. I know what the situation is here in the UK. You can request a specific vaccine, and my life is so hard in the first place that I've had to be honest with myself and say, look, I'm very, very disabled as a human being in this world, and unfortunately I require to be able to go to the shops, especially now living on a boat. I can't get home delivery. I require that ability to go to a shop, and if I have to show a piece of paper to enter a shop, it's going to have to be that I take the vaccine. I'll have to be certain within myself that times have got hard when it happens, and to know that now is the time. But that's what I plan to do. Just research the most favourable vaccine. I mean, the UK's making medication to treat the coronavirus, so it might be a case of there'll be an option to take a course of medication instead, and that might be a better option, who knows. But just ride it out, wait as long as we can on an individual basis. It might be that Austria is the first to experience it, but you know, given what the significance of this event is in human history, and given that I'm a human in modern times, I've avoided all these protests and rallies. I don't do protesting, but in what's happened in Austria, I said to myself, you know, I really need to go. I need to go if there's a protest in London, to say, look, what's going on in Austria isn't appropriate and we need to stand in solidarity. If I can go, given my life and my mental health, I will go. I don't think it's going to be realistic, but I know the intent's there. So, I don't know how we're going to get off our knees as a slave species. I know we've got friends in the sky, and I know we've got friends that are awake among us. And I can't say I trust in you, because you beat the living shit out of me to teach me lessons. That's how I have a very wary perception of the collective psychosis, the secret awakening, and also the lazy ass bastards in the sky who just don't want to interfere. But, you know, the women aren't doing their job as the appropriate guardians of planet Earth. They're the ones that run the show. And yet we're experiencing what we're experiencing. So, the people that should be helping, in other words, the people that have the conscious power, aren't doing it. And there's not many options right now in the moment but to go out there and protest. It's happening, man. Oh, if you want to be at all super conspiracy theorist about it, I could list off. I can't remember 5 minutes ago, let alone the names of movies I've seen, but there are enough series on TV, enough movies that have been putting this out there into human consciousness for a while. And there's no need to go into that any further, but that's my perception on it. That this has been planned for a little while now, at least 10 years, and my perspective on it is all the testing more than anything. Rockefeller put out the Rockefeller Labs. I don't know what they're called. They've got a science department, and Rockefeller are one of the key elite families of planet Earth, the ones that run the show. And basically, just before the pandemic, I believe my friend on Facebook posted a PDF that Rockefeller were planning to test to unlock the human genome, which they tried to do a decade or two ago and it didn't work, or that it didn't give a conclusive picture of the human genome. And they put out a paper to say they need to do testing to finalise it. And funnily enough, with all the lockdown, with all the people staying at home, but at the same time all the tests being done for coronavirus, Rockefeller managed to find out and sequence the human genome once and for all. So who knows how much that's connected and what that really means that they'll be able to do to us. Maybe it is all good intent and they're planning to unlock the human genome and heal humanity. What do you believe?